Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and I, along with my husband Sean, run Trash Pandas Thrift. We are a six-figure reselling business, and here on this channel, we share with you all of our tips, tricks, and experiences, also that you can start and grow your very own reselling business too. Today, I have got another Goodwill outlet haul for you guys. It is a haul all of items that we picked up somewhere called the Goodwill outlet or the bins. It's a huge pay per pound warehouse, and you basically dig in these mountains of clothing. If you've never been or you want to learn more different tips to succeed, we actually have a whole series out on our YouTube channel that we did a couple months ago that really talk about everything that I've learned going to the Goodwill outlet and building a six-figure business off of it. It is more than possible, and you can do it too. I'm going to show you the types of items that we got. We have some high-end pieces, we have some BOLOs, but we also have a ton of style-based and vintage items or vintage-inspired that honestly are the crux of our business. And if you're not finding those high-end items, those high-end brands, or high sell-through rate brands, these really do make Trash Pandas Thrift run. Okay, let's do up first. Here is the first item. Let's start with a style-based item. So this is a skirt and a skirt style, a skirt category that I have been sourcing a ton of. Not brand focused. This is all style-based. So it is from Coldwater Creek. However, the brand that's not what we're focusing in on. It's the style. So this is a super fairy grunge whimsigoth style slip skirt, elastic waist, and it's got that midi length, really nice lettuce asymmetric hem, plus that all over floral, almost like celestial floral, kind of looks like otherworldly. That's a good thing. Really whimsigoth vibe to this one, and it's super Y2K. This is a style-based item, very whimsigoth style skirts I'm always picking up. Next up, this is another type of item I'm always picking up. However, this ended up being a pretty high-end brand, which, believe it or not, happens to me quite often. I'm searching in a bin. I pick up something because it's a floral print and I'm like a moth to flowers, or for cats and animal prints, or butterflies, anything of that effect. And then I look at the brand tag and I'm like, oh, this is a nice surprise. And that's what this was. So this is from Kodalak, which I've only found a few times. It is a high-end brand. Retail on this one is quite high, not quite as high resale. However, some pieces can do well. This one I have a good feeling about. It is 100% silk. This is something I would have picked up regardless of that brand tag. Super floral, fairy inspired, plus it's super boho, hippie, almost 70s retro vibes, plus it's silk. All of those add a ton of value. This is something I'd pick up regardless of season as well because it's silk. That silk adds a ton of value too. Here's another really beautiful style. This is from Ritu Kumar. Look at this, just absolutely stunning. I don't even think you can see the bottom. It is stunning viscose. Here's the brand tag if you've never seen it before. Size 34, which I think is an extra small. Could be a small. I'm not too sure. I gotta check the size chart, but wow. This brand is sometimes sold at Anthropologie. This might be one of those pieces, but I definitely need to check. Super boho. Stunning piece. Those buttons, that viscose, it's fairy coated. It's super hippie inspired too. Look at those flare sleeves. This is a style-based pickup in maxi dresses with that long sleeve. Perfect for right now as well. This type of substantialness in dresses I am always looking for. All right, next up. Ooh, you're really pretty. Let me get you back on your hanger. Okay. I love picking up Y2K pieces from this brand. I don't know if I've talked about it or shown it to you before, but these are basically the crux of our fairy core Y2K pickups. It's ICE or ICE. Without fail, their tops, their dresses, they give hardcore fairy vibes. This one's 100% silk with that sequin and that beading detail all over. Look at that silk, and it has a little cami slip underneath. Super fairy core. I could even see coquette, cottagecore, Y2K, all of the hyper feminine styles that are so on trend right now. Easy pickup. It's vintage. It's style based. And people left it behind in an old bin, which is insane because this is such a high quality piece. I was so excited to pick it up and give it its second home. Maybe now I'll get a third home too. Here's another style base piece. This is from, I believe, Vici. Let's see. Yes, it is. This is from Vici, which is just a boutique brand. We do not have this because of the brand. We have it because of the style. So it has got a super retro inspired boho, oversized all over cable knit, super chunky, super boho, vintage inspired and retro, and so on trend for right now, which is all the reasons I picked her up. She almost has a kind of fisherman vibe to her. Really nice oversized sleeves on her as well. Plus that turtleneck adds a ton of value. I was so excited to get this one. So soft, I almost kept it. And next up is a BOLO item that I wanted to make sure to show you so you can write down in case you've never heard of it. I was so excited to get this wide leg jumpsuit. It has been a minute since I found this brand. This is from, here you go, Allie Golden. So I'm pretty sure she is a sustainable designer, and I love, love, love finding her jumpsuits, especially when they're wide leg. Even a keyword like sustainable adds a ton of value. There are certain sustainable brands that have a high demand that people flock towards. This one is also really cute because it's also giving 70s vibes, has its little one button up there, wide leg, it's retro. I could even see utility and workwear inspired as well. These are quite expensive resale. I need to recheck comps, but I know that one sold for us maybe a year ago for a little over $70. So definitely a brand to keep on the lookout for. Here we go. And if you're like, all right, but all I have is like Anthropologie or older Anthropologie or only oversaturated brands, this is what I look for. This one is also technically oversaturated, right? This is Anthropologie. It's tiny. The style on this is just absolutely like perfect. Embroidered, almost like Farm Rio vibes to it. All of those 70s inspired vibes with that crochet, mixed media, so many different factors that elevate the value. That's what you're looking for, especially if you're not really finding those heavy hitter brands. Number one, you still need to know them. So one day when you do find them, you'll be the one to pick it up. But number two, you can still find really great pieces in oversaturated brands if you really zone in on style. It's style that really matters. Like this one. All right, next up, this is also a sustainable brand you should absolutely know about. This is Jess Brown. So if you're not finding Lululemons and Aviary Nations and the Vioris of the world, what I like to do is I like to focus in on niche brands that other people might not know about, like this one. This is, I believe, your cotton, right? Yeah, it's 100% cotton. It's made in India. Super lag and look boho, just really artisanally made sustainable brand that are known for their really nice vintage inspired, but also sustainable. So it's driven by really great materials. People just look past this because honestly, it doesn't look like anything special when I'm holding it up to you. It's really well made. It's a super great material, and it's a niche sustainable designer with some comps that could be as high as $100. The sell-through rate on some of these sustainable brands isn't amazing. However, you can uplift that value by using special keywords like all the ones I'm using and undercut the market to make it sell faster. This is something I in a heartbeat pick up because number one, there is a following for certain sustainable brands, and number two, it pays to know the brands that other people do not know. Ooh, this is another good example. This is another one that people just left behind. It could have been because it's not quite in season, or it could have been because they just didn't know the brand. Either way, I don't care. I'm taking it home. This is one that I really love to find as well, and this is Poetry. Poetry is actually so expensive. I was shocked. This one I believe is linen, or it might be hemp actually. Feels like hemp. Their content tag is out. So I'll have to see with this one, but they are known for a lot of linen pieces, sometimes hemp, lag and look pieces like this one. I really love finding poetry, especially in more substantial pieces. However, I'm not saying no to a tiny t-shirt when that sale price is about $30. That's a great flip. 1 into 30, time and time and time and time again. That is like a money printing machine. That's why I think the Goodwill outlet is a money printing machine. This is a nice brand to know. Ooh, and here's another vintage piece for you guys. This is my bread and butter. I love these. So I like to think that we are at Trash Pandas Thrift, the kings and the queens of the grandpa sweaters. I cannot tell you how many grandpa sweaters we have sold over the past 4 years. It is an insane amount. I start like early too. Years and years, I have had tubs full of grandpa sweaters that I just accumulate all throughout the year because I don't start sourcing, right? I don't stop sourcing items even if they're out of season. Sometimes I actually accumulate quite a large hoard. So when that season comes around, I have enough. And they're super in demand, so they flip quickly once I list them. This is a good example. This is from Le Tigre. Look at that, made in USA. This is a good grandpa sweater. This is actually kind of wacky and more abstract. I usually do a little bit more of a grunge with grandpa sweaters, but this is cool too. Super retro inspired. It's geometric. It's abstract. It's grandpa oversized. Grandpa is actually blown up as a keyword this year, although it's been popular for the past few years. It's cool to see the style-based items we've been sourcing for years absolutely blow up in terms of style aesthetics that people know about in the mainstream now. So this is a good one to know as well. This one also, I would say certain keywords definitely uplift value. If it's vintage, uplifts value. This one is most likely 90s, maybe 80s, that uplifts value as well. Here is another good one in terms of style-based items. If you cannot find those high-end brands in your area, this is another dark feminine fairy core item I love to source. Flare sleeves are the number one kind of like indicator I see. Whenever I'm looking at a top, if I see flare sleeves, I take another look at it to see if it fits into fairy core or whimsigoth. This is ink. It doesn't matter though. We're not here for the brand. We're here for these sleeves mainly. These sleeves just add a whole other element to this top. It's super fairy core, hippie, dark feminine. I could even see whimsigoth. It's Y2K inspired for sure. For all those reasons, it's a great style-based pickup because it fits into those style aesthetics. All right, and last up, I want to leave you off with a BOLO that maybe you've never heard of. So if you cannot find those great BOLO brands and high sell-through rate items, again, I like knowing that I can rely on other things that people just might not even know. Those are my favorite finds, like this one. This is a satin two-piece pajama set that, number one, is an absolute miracle that I found both in the Goodwill outlet. If you know what I'm saying, then you know. But I did, and I really like this. So this is from Mestiza. It is luxury pajama, loungewear, leisure wear. This one's a two-piece set. It's a satin floral embroidered, super boho, super feminine, romantic. Comps on this one, it ranges. There's not a lot listed. However, there are some good solds on Poshmark. On eBay, there was one sold for over $70 for a set too, which is great for an item left behind in an old bin. I really love to go after those categories that everyone else seems to underestimate, especially pajamas. The pajama section, routinely underestimated, undervalued. I find some of the best pieces that we get. Number one, if I'm in a retail store, I am beelining to the pajama section. Or number two, in the bins, I'm always double checking the robes. You guys have noticed I've been showing you some super high-end nightwear robes from men too. Robes, pajama wear, leisure wear, all of it is honestly underestimated. It's one of my favorite categories. So I want to leave us off with that one. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is a really good one, especially if you're someone who, number one, you just don't enjoy selling a ton of vintage, or just you don't understand style base. I wanted to make sure we had some items that were from brands that, number one, people already find but don't know what to look for in, or number two, expand your knowledge of what a BOLO brand can mean, because it can mean these under the radar brands that no one else knows about too. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe down below. Come back, watch our new uploads too. And we appreciate you a ton for liking, for commenting, for doing all of the things. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.